Have you ever wondered how to make truly ethical decisions? What if there was a universal rule that could guide our moral choices? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Immanuel Kant's Categorical Imperative. This powerful ethical framework has shaped modern philosophy and continues to influence how we think about right and wrong. So, grab a cup of coffee and get ready to explore a revolutionary approach to living an ethical life. Let's start by understanding who Kant was and why his ideas matter. Immanuel Kant was an 18th century German philosopher who revolutionized ethics. He believed that moral decisions should be based on reason, not emotions or consequences. Kant's goal was to find a universal moral law that would apply to everyone, everywhere, at all times. This led him to develop the categorical imperative, the cornerstone of his moral philosophy. So what exactly is the categorical imperative? At its core, it's a way of determining whether an action is morally right or wrong. Kant presented it in several formulations, but we'll focus on the three most important ones. The first formulation is often called the universal law. Act only according to that maxim by which you can, at the same time, will that it should become a universal law. In simpler terms, ask yourself, what if everyone did this? If the answer would lead to chaos or contradiction, then the action is morally wrong. Let's look at an example to make this clearer. Imagine you're considering lying to get out of a commitment. Now, apply the universal law. What if everyone lied whenever it was convenient? We'd live in a world where promises meant nothing, and trust would break down. Therefore, according to Kant, lying in this situation would be morally wrong. The second formulation is the humanity formula. Act in such a way that you always treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never simply as a means, but always at the same time as an end. This means we should never use people solely as tools to achieve our goals. We must respect the inherent dignity and worth of every individual. Consider a manager who overworks their employees without fair compensation. This manager is treating the employees as mere means to increase profits. Kant would argue that this is unethical because it fails to respect the employees as ends in themselves. The third formulation is the kingdom of ends. Act as if you were, through your maxims, a law-making member of a kingdom of ends. Imagine a world where everyone follows moral laws they've created themselves. These laws should be ones that everyone could agree to and live by. For instance, in this ideal kingdom, we might all agree on laws protecting personal property. This would make theft morally wrong because it violates a principle we've all agreed upon. Now that we understand the basics, let's apply Kant's ethics to some real-world scenarios. Scenario 1. You find a wallet on the street. Kant would say you have a duty to return it to its owner. Why? Because if everyone kept found wallets, society would break down, universal law. Also, by returning it, you're respecting the owner as an end in themselves, humanity formula. Scenario 2. A friend asks you to lie for them during a job interview. Even if lying might help your friend, Kant would say it's wrong. A world where everyone lied in interviews would make the whole process meaningless, universal law. Plus, you'd be using the interviewer as a mere means to an end, humanity formula. Scenario 3. You're considering volunteering at a local shelter. Kant would approve of this action. If everyone helped their community, society would improve, universal law. You're also treating those in need as ends in themselves, humanity formula. While Kant's ideas are powerful, they're not without criticism. Some argue that the categorical imperative is too rigid and doesn't account for context. For example, what about lying to protect someone from harm? Kant would say it's still wrong, but many would disagree. Others point out that determining universal laws can be subjective. What seems universal to one person might not be to another. Despite these critiques, Kant's ideas continue to influence modern ethics. Many philosophers have built on his work, creating new ethical frameworks. For instance, John Rawls's veil of ignorance concept draws inspiration from Kant's ideas of universality. Contemporary ethicist Christine Korsgaard has defended and expanded on Kant's philosophy. She argues that Kant's ethics can be applied to modern issues like animal rights and environmental ethics. So, how can we use Kant's ideas in our daily lives? First, when making decisions, consider if you'd be okay with everyone doing the same thing. Second, always treat people with respect and dignity, never as mere tools. Finally, strive to create personal rules that could work for everyone. Remember, ethics isn't about being perfect. It's about striving to be better and make thoughtful decisions. Kant's philosophy gives us a framework to think critically about our actions and their implications. We've journeyed through Kant's categorical imperative, from its basic principles to real-world applications. This powerful ethical framework challenges us to think beyond our immediate desires and consider the broader implications of our actions. Whether you fully agree with Kant or not, His ideas offer valuable insights into living an ethical life. So the next time you face a moral dilemma, why not give the categorical imperative a try? You might be surprised at how it changes your perspective. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more philosophical explorations. And let us know in the comments, how do you think Kant's ideas apply to modern ethical issues? Thanks for watching, and remember, in the words of Kant himself, act as if the maxim of your action were to become, by an act of will, a universal law of nature.